Okay, we're going to do section 2 now, equivalent fractions. So the word equivalent, the root word is equal. So an equivalent fraction is a fraction that's one fraction that's equal to another. So let's go over what that looks like first before we really get into the lesson. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw a candy bar. So let's pretend this is a Hershey bar. And let's pretend you're going to get half the Hershey bar. So what I'll do is I'll cut the Hershey bar in half. So that means you're going to get 1 out of 2 total parts. So now let's pretend that we cut the Hershey bar in half again. And we cut it in half again. So I'll cut 1 here and 1 here. So we divided each spot in 2. So now I multiplied my numerator by 2 and my denominator by 2, and I get 2/4. So 1/2 is 2/4. So why are they equal? Because if you look right here, you'll see that you're still getting the exact same amount of the candy bar as you were in the first place. First you got 1 out of 2, now you got 2 out of 4, but it's the same area of the candy bar. All right, so let's get into the lesson. And let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of our candy bar. Whoop. All right, so let's go over what we're doing today. So we're going to make some equivalent fractions. So I'm going to make a fraction 3/8 is equal to n, which is just any number, over 24. So to get my answer, I have to multiply by some form of 1. So I have to figure out what form of 1 I need to multiply by. So what I want to do is I want to look for either the numerator or the denominator where I have 2 terms. So up here at the top I only have 1 term, but down here I have 2 terms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what I multiplied 8 by to get to 24. Well, you know that. 8 times 3 is 24. So whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top, and then times 3. So 3 over 3 again is a form of 1. So 3 times 3 is 9. So it is 9 over 24. So n equals 9. Here is 9. All right, let's do another one. So let's do 4 over 7 equals 16 over p. So why don't you go ahead and give it a try and pause the video. Okay, so as I said before, what you're doing is you're just looking for the top or the bottom, the numerator or the denominator, where you have 2 terms. Well, this time we have 2 terms on the top. We have a 4 and we have a 16. So how did I get from 4 to 16? Well, I times by 4. I do the same to the bottom, so I'm multiplying by 4 over 4, which is 1. That's why it's an equivalent fraction. So 4 times 4 is 16, and 7 times 4 is 28. So my new fraction is 16 over 28. That's my equivalent fraction, so my p equals 28. All right, so we're going to move to the other side of the equation. So now I'm going to have both of my terms on the left side. 8 over 24, and this is slightly different, equals r over 3. All right, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see where I have my 2 terms is here, and this time I divided. All right, so I went from 24 to 3, so that means I divided by 8. If I divide my top by 8, and remember 8 divided by 8 is 1, and I'm still dividing by a form of 1. 8 divided by 8 is 1, so my r now equals 1. So if you multiply or divide any number by 1 or any form of 1, you get an equivalent number, so that's what we did here. Okay, a few more. 15 over 18 equals 5 over z. I'm sure you could do this one on your own. Go ahead and do this one. Okay. So again, I have 2 terms here. I have 15 and I have 5. I have smaller, so I actually divided. 15 divided by 3 equals 5, and 18 divided by 3 equals 6. So z equals 6. Alright, so let's do a few where we're missing a term on the left side of the equation, and that is a little bit different, so let's check that out. Alright, so we have 9 over r equals 1 over 3. Alright, so what we have here is we're missing the term on the left side, and we have our two terms on the top that we can work with. So we see we're going from 9 and we have 1. So how do I get from 9 to 1? Well, I divide by 9 equals 1. So what that means is r divided by 9 equals 3. All right, so what we want to do is we want to use our inverse operations and go the other way. So now I could say, instead of saying 9 divided by 9 equals 1, I can say 1 times 9 equals 9, and 3 times 9 equals 27, so r equals 27. And let's just make sure that's true. I like to, anytime missing the left side, I want to double check. So what I'm saying is 9 over 27 equals 1 over 3, and now I can do it left to right. 9 divided by 9 equals 1, and 27 divided by 9 equals 3. So now I feel comfortable with my answer because that is true. All right, let's do another one. How about 3 over p equals 9 over 18? All right, so I see on top, I have my terms. So I see I did 3, I went from 3 to 9. So what should we do here? Yeah, so I see times 3. So I'll put times 3 equals 9. I'll put my times 3 equals 18. So 3 times 3 is 9, and p times 3 is 18. So you could say to yourself, what times 3 is 18? Or you could do the inverse operation. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. 18 divided by 3 equals 6. So p equals 6. Now I'll double check. 3 over 6 equals 9 over 18. 3 times 3 is 9. 6 times 3 is 18. So it all works. All right, one last one. 6 over L equals 18 over 21. Why don't you go ahead and try that? Okay, so let's review this. I have two terms on top here, so let's see what we can figure out. 6 times 3 is 18. L times 3 is 21. So you could say what times 3 is 21, or what I like to do is go the opposite way and do the opposite operation. We started off multiplying, so now we'll divide. 21 divided by 3 is 7. Now I'll do my check. 6 over 7 equals 18 over 21. 6 times 3 is 18. Yes, 7 times 3 is 21. So yes, L equals 7.